multiplayer games still be fun even if you're bad? Short answer, yes. Lots of popular multiplayer games either have a high barrier to entry, where you'll be competing against players who have been playing much longer and much more frequently, or are just more skilled than you are. So the question is, can you still have fun playing these games? It is rare for someone to enjoy a multiplayer game that is unfairly punishing them, where no improvement or ability to compete is in sight. Most multiplayer games aren't punishing, they're challenging. For those of us who lack the experience, skill, or both, the key is enjoying the challenge and embracing it. Have you ever felt like you didn't deserve to be eliminated? Whether you felt you were aimed in the right direction and landing hits, but it was you that bit the bullet, not them? You respawned right in front of an enemy, or you were just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Games like Fortnite, Apex Legends, Call of Duty, Destiny, Overwatch, and Battlefield can be incredibly challenging for players who don't have the time to play often. The issue is these games are some of the easiest games to quickly play a match when you have 30 minutes or less. You don't want to grind away at an 80-hour open world adventure, you just need a fun way to kill some time. My gaming skill is minimal, and so is my time. But I also enjoy quickly diving into an online multiplayer experience to kill some time. I've recently, after not playing much of any, played Fortnite, Apex Legends, Call of Duty, Destiny, Overwatch, and Battlefield. I found that these games are fun when you feel like you're contributing, when you feel like you're improving. These games aren't fun when you feel lost, hopeless, like you're failing. So I put together a guide on how to have fun in the brief time you have, and which of these games is the most accessible. Let's start with Fortnite. Simple shooting mechanics and aesthetics disguise a difficult multiplayer experience. Difficulty ramps up really quickly inside the top 20 of a battle royale. Fortnite is really fun with friends if you can get around, hack around, build some buildings. But building does have a steep learning curve. It can be very rewarding, but you'll find others building much quicker and much more elaborate buildings than you in the early hours. This can be intimidating, and like I said earlier, makes the game very difficult when you reach the top 20 of a battle royale. With how often Fortnite rolls out updates, changes in cosmetics can improve your experience, or they can make it hard to keep up depending on how much you're playing. Moving on to Apex Legends, shooting and traversal feels absolutely amazing. Systems like the ping to notify teammates where things are very useful. There's also a brief tutorial, which makes it really accessible, kind of helps, at least when you turn the game on, you feel like someone's showing you just what you need to know, and then the rest you can figure out for yourself. Team play and the Legends can be intimidating for players who just want to jump in. You always have to play on a team. There's no solo mode. There is matchmaking, so you don't need to find the friends, but you can't lone wolf it. So if you just want to jump in, do your own thing, it's a little more difficult because there is always that feeling of I'm either letting my team down or I have to carry my team. Moving on to Call of Duty, a classic, probably the most popular in this list. Believe it or not, Call of Duty is still one of the best-selling games every year. The campaign is very accessible. You just like shooting stuff, and you also want a decent story attached. The Call of Duty campaigns usually have a pretty dark, mature story. If that's your kind of thing and you want to jump in. Bots, you can do multiplayer, local multiplayer, use bots, set them up, put them on easy if you feel like you're having a tough time with them on regular, or put them on hard if you want to kind of ramp up that difficulty, but you also want to be able to pause the game whenever you like. That's always kind of a fun way. Most multiplayer maps and modes, you will get punished, especially if you don't play very much. Call of Duty has a very strong, very competitive multiplayer scene, but the progress is rewarding, even though it might be slow if you're not as competitive. Okay, moving on to Destiny. So the multiplayer I found was the most accessible, at least for me. I found that my kill death ratio was the highest while playing multiplayer online. With Destiny, shooting and the abilities also feel absolutely amazing. I find this is the best campaign. If you want to jump in, you can do it one mission at a time. The story isn't too demanding, so you can jump in and play really whenever, and you won't feel like you're really getting lost, because to be completely honest, the story isn't really existent, but the PvE is quite fun. The issue with Destiny is they do make big changes to the game systems, which do make it hard to jump in. Almost at the end here, Battlefield and Battlefront. I lumped these both in the same category because I found they were pretty similar. Obviously, Battlefront has the Star Wars skin on it, so for you Star Wars fans, this might definitely be the option. I found the longer objective-based maps can feel like your time spent running to objectives or command posts, only to be sniped on the way there or killed by a couple enemies. Could be better spent doing something else. It found that it wasn't the best use of that half an hour of time. I did find it was relatively accessible. Shooting wasn't too bad. I didn't find that enemies and other players were absolutely destroying me. And the support kills and kind of the objective-based scenarios, you can make a bit of an impact in other ways than just point and shoot. They have a great campaign, both of them. I played through a bit of both campaigns, and I did find that was, as far as storytelling goes and big spectacle, I found that it was quite impressive. Shooting feels great. If you're looking for the full arsenal of warfare, that's definitely the way to go. You drive vehicles, turrets, warfare in the air. It's a lot more expansive than a regular shooter or regular campaign. Finally, Overwatch. I wanted to end with Overwatch because I found it the most accessible. I actually found it incredibly accessible. It offers competitive and quick play mode, so if you don't want to play against the best of the best, you can just jump into quick play mode. Damage classes will be the most familiar to you if you're a shooter fan. There are lots of classes you can play where it is just that point and shoot, and then you can kind of learn the other abilities as you go. If you struggle with shooters, there is the tank and support class. Now, this is the key. Tank and support class, if you aren't great at shooters, they're definitely your go-to. They make you feel like you're a part of the team, you can make an impact without necessarily having great Twitch skills. Overwatch does make you feel like you are constantly improving, which is a huge bonus because there are so many different characters and there's so many different things you can kind of try. I kind of compare it to Super Smash Brothers in the sense that if you feel like you're struggling with one, you just kind of keep moving on to the next, and you have fun trying something new and trying out a new character until you find kind of one that sticks for you. I definitely recommend a quick tip. Finding a heavy, a damage, and a support class that you like might make it easier to get in certain matches, and it's fun playing different roles. One negative for Overwatch is the lack of a campaign, so that if you're looking for any story at all, there's absolutely none of that whatsoever. It also does have what I found slightly longer matchmaking, so if you are looking to quickly jump into a game, there is Skirmish, which is pretty much just a sandbox where you can kind of play around and shoot other players or interact with other players. But to get in an actual match, I found it was the longest of the options that we've kind of talked about here today. Okay, very last thing, guys. I really want to kind of get this thing rolling. I'm really enjoying myself. So if you hit subscribe, hit like, it's just more motivation for me to keep going. I really like doing this, and I will be putting up more videos. Again, if you have any recommendations, comment below and I'll see if I can get to it. Keep it positive. Throw anything you want down below, whether it's recommendations, if you have your own reviews, if there's a video you want me to check out, just link it in the comments below. I'll check it out. If you have any comments on my opinions, or if you think I got anything wrong, comment that below too. Maybe I've been playing it from the wrong point of view or from a different point of view. So just let me know and I'll try it that way. Maybe even put up another video. Awesome. Good morning, good afternoon, and good gaming, guys.